In a narrative that chills the very core of human understanding, the abduction spree orchestrated by Wade Wilson reveals the horrifying potential for darkness lurking behind seemingly ordinary facades. What began as a string of unnerving disappearances across Florida soon transformed into a full-blown crisis that shook the community to its foundations. This unsettling tale of predation and psychological torment delves into how a man who appeared ordinary could metamorphose into a sadistic predator, unraveling a web of terror that forced an entire region to confront the unimaginable. The Abduction Spree, a nightmare in plain sight, Wade Wilson's descent into criminal madness began with an abduction spree that spanned various Florida locales, leaving a trail of fear and confusion in his wake. His meticulously orchestrated campaign of terror was marked by an eerie calmness and methodical planning, which allowed him to blend seamlessly into his surroundings and evade capture for an extended period. Wilson's modus operandi involved targeting vulnerable individuals, primarily women who were alone or in distress. His approach was disturbingly calculated. He chose his victims from a range of settings, including bus stops, grocery stores, and quiet suburban neighborhoods. By operating under the cover of night, he was able to strike with a precision that left the community in a constant state of fear and uncertainty. The terror he instilled was compounded by his ability to remain elusive. Wilson's use of various disguises and frequently changing vehicles made it difficult for law enforcement to track him down. His understanding of human behavior allowed him to exploit the vulnerabilities of his targets, turning everyday environments into scenes of dread. As reports of missing women began to accumulate, the community's anxiety reached a fever pitch. Local law enforcement faced the daunting task of piecing together the scattered evidence left by Wilson's crimes. Despite their best efforts, they struggled to connect the dots between the disappearances, and the lack of concrete leads only heightened the community's fear. Investigators were forced to rely on limited surveillance footage and fragmented witness testimonies, which painted an incomplete picture of the man behind the abductions. As days turned into weeks without a breakthrough, panic spread throughout the region. Parents kept their children close, and friends no longer ventured out alone. Community meetings became a regular occurrence, with residents discussing the increasing number of disappearances and sharing tips on how to stay safe. The pervasive fear transformed once bustling neighborhoods into places of quiet dread as the specter of Wilson's presence loomed large. The torture chamber, a grim discovery. The discovery of Wade Wilson's hideout marked a nightmarish turn in the case. Authorities who had been tirelessly searching for any clue that would lead to his capture were met with a scene of horror that defied imagination. Inside a soundproofed room, investigators uncovered a grim testament to Wilson's depravity. The torture chamber was a chilling representation of Wilson's sadistic nature. The walls bore marks of struggle, and the remnants of restraints hinted at the physical and psychological torment inflicted upon his victims. Survivors who were eventually rescued from this hellish environment recounted harrowing tales of their captivity. They spoke of Wilson's relentless methods of control and manipulation, designed to break their spirits and maintain his dominance over them. The chamber's soundproof design ensured that the victims' cries for help went unheard, amplifying the horror of their isolation. The psychological impact of this confinement was profound, leaving lasting scars on those who endured it. The discovery of the chamber brought a grim closure to the search for the missing women, but also unveiled the full extent of Wilson's monstrous actions, forever altering the lives of the survivors and their families. The room was equipped with a disturbing array of tools and items that indicated a calculated approach to cruelty. Investigators found evidence suggesting that Wilson had kept some victims alive for weeks, subjecting them to unrelenting abuse. The gruesome nature of these findings underscored the depth of his malevolence and the terror he had inflicted upon his victims. The revelation of this torture chamber served as a stark reminder of the darkness that can lie hidden within individuals. It also highlighted the importance of continued vigilance and the need for communities to come together in the face of such threats. The haunting legacy of Wilson's atrocities left an indelible mark on the community, forever changing their perception of safety and trust. The Cryptic Messages, a twisted game. Adding a chilling layer to his crimes, Wade Wilson left behind a series of cryptic messages at each crime scene. These enigmatic notes, often written in unsettling handwriting, taunted both law enforcement and the public, offering a glimpse into Wilson's twisted psyche. The messages were filled with dark symbolism and obscure references, hinting at Wilson's motivations and his distorted worldview. Some notes suggested a deep-seated resentment or a desire for power over his victims, while others revealed a disturbing philosophy that seemed to justify his actions. The complexity of these messages fueled rampant speculation and fear within the community as residents grappled with the implications of Wilson's cryptic communication. Each note left at a crime scene served not only as a taunt but also as a puzzle, inviting speculation about his identity and intentions. This psychological component of his crimes added a new dimension to the investigation, complicating efforts to track him down. The presence of these messages heightened the urgency surrounding the case, as they indicated that Wilson was not merely a predator but a sadistic game player reveling in the chaos he created. The notes left behind by Wilson left a psychological scar on the community, deepening the mystery and complicating efforts to bring him to justice. The hunt for Wilson was no longer just about finding a criminal. It had become a battle against a mind shrouded in darkness, and each cryptic message added to the tension and uncertainty of the pursuit. The cat and mouse game, a frustrating pursuit. As the terror of Wade Wilson escalated, law enforcement agencies launched a massive manhunt to capture him. Despite their best efforts, Wilson proved remarkably elusive, turning the pursuit into a tense cat and mouse game. His cunning tactics and ability to change his appearance left investigators baffled as they struggled to track him down. Authorities coordinated with multiple agencies, deploying teams across Florida in a desperate attempt to locate Wilson. They analyzed surveillance footage, sifted through witness statements, and followed leads that often led to dead ends. Wilson's resourcefulness in altering his appearance, using disguises and fake identities, intensified the challenge as he skillfully blended into various environments. The mounting pressure on investigators was palpable, knowing that Wilson was still out there, possibly planning his next move. The community remained on high alert, living in a state of fear and uncertainty as rumors and speculation swirled about his whereabouts. Each day without an arrest heightened the tension, as the hunt for Wilson became a psychological battle between law enforcement and a man who seemed to anticipate their every move. The tension between law enforcement and Wilson reached a boiling point during each encounter, with stakes escalating as the manhunt continued. Despite relentless efforts, Wilson's ability to stay one step ahead turned the pursuit into a frustrating and exhausting endeavor, leaving investigators determined yet increasingly desperate to bring him to justice. The shocking revelation, a dual life exposed. When Wade Wilson was finally apprehended, the truth that emerged was both startling and horrifying. By day, he appeared to be an ordinary citizen, blending seamlessly into the community and going about his daily routine without raising suspicion. However, by night, he transformed into a sadistic predator, orchestrating abductions and torturous acts with chilling precision. The revelation of Wilson's dual life sent shockwaves through the community, shattering the illusion of safety that residents had held. The realization that someone who appeared so ordinary could harbor such darkness left neighbors and friends grappling with a profound sense of betrayal and fear. This discovery raised unsettling questions about the nature of evil and how it could exist so close to home, often hidden beneath a veneer of normalcy. The exposure of Wilson's dual existence forced residents to confront their fears and reassess their perceptions of those around them. The once familiar faces in the community were now seen through a lens of suspicion and uncertainty. This internal struggle left a lasting impact, igniting conversations about vigilance and the complexities of human nature. The community would forever bear the scars of this shocking revelation, a haunting reminder of the thin line between normality and malevolence. Outro. Thank you for joining us as we explored the chilling story of Wade Wilson. His reign of terror serves as a stark reminder of the darkness that can lie hidden beneath the surface of everyday life. If you found this story compelling, please like, subscribe, and share your thoughts in the comments below. Stay safe, remain aware, and remember that even in the most ordinary places, darkness can sometimes lurk. Until next time, keep your eyes open for the unexpected and cherish the safety of your community.